My name's Olga FitzRoy and I've been working here at Air Studios since 2003. I'm a freelance sound engineer and I'm looked after by Air Management, who are also based at Air Studios. I started doing my year at Air as a year out from the Tonmeister course at Surrey Uni, and then just came back really. I ended up working part-time whilst I was finishing my course, and then came back full-time in 2005. I started off here as a runner and was second assistant on a lot of film sessions, and then got promoted to assistant engineer, so assisted on film and band sessions. One of the bands I worked with as an assistant and a runner actually was Coldplay. They've done quite a lot of records here. And then so when I went freelance, that's one of the first records that I did as a freelance engineer was Coldplay's Ghost Stories back in 2013, I think it was. So this year I'd hopefully like to do a bit more with the MPG. I was chatting to Tony at the awards to see if there's maybe some campaigns that we can do to do with people working for no money, you know, get rid of that in our industry, because I know it's also quite prevalent in other industries as well. That's something that I feel quite passionate about. Or another thing that Cam Blackwood mentioned in his speech was getting more ethnic minorities and more women involved in music production in the MPG. When I heard I was nominated, I was pleased, but I didn't really think I had a chance of winning because I was up against some really good engineers. I was up against Dan Cox, who'd just done the Laura Marling album, which is a great record, so I obviously thought, yeah, he'll probably win it. And then Guy Massey's obviously got such a great track record. Again, I thought, well, if you know, he'll probably win it as well, one of those two, so I didn't really think I had a chance of winning it. I use 88Rs well, here in Abbey Road for doing any orchestral stuff. It's the only like modern Neve that well, it's my favourite really. I've used an 88D and that's quite good. I used that in Belgium at Galaxy Studios. And actually, interestingly, I'd never used it before, but because I've used the Gemini upstairs here and the 88R, sort of combined those two bits of knowledge and you've kind of figured it out really. But my favourite's still the one in Studio One, the vintage Air Montserrat. It's like the best desk in the world to me. I love it. It sounds really good, the mic pre's, and it's just really simple. I mean, it's not appropriate for every type of recording because it just hasn't got as many options for routing, and it's only got 72 channels that are not even in line, so it's limited in what it can do, but it's big enough that you can do most of what you want to do in that room, and it just sounds brilliant. Well, I first became aware of Neve actually when I was I think when I was doing work experience at a little tiny studio in Dundee, and they had an AMEC desk, but the engineer there was always going, one day you'll get to work on a Neve. It was like his holy grail was the Neve, so I was sort of aware of it from then. But I mean, sometimes like nowadays there's a lot of studios that have got more esoteric stuff and like a bunch of different mic pre's, but still like the best, like this is really geeky, but the best ones are like vintage Neves or modern Neves. They just got, well, they just work more often. Like the other ones, often a lot of the new stuff tends to like break or be noisy, and it's just a bit miserable. And you don't know what you're getting. At least with a Neve, you sort of know where you are, and if something doesn't sound right, then you sort of know where to start. Whereas if you've got some weird esoteric mic pre that you've never heard before, then you don't really know what it's meant to sound like. So I think a big thing is also like the fact that everyone knows what Neves are meant to sound like, and makes my job easier. For me, just the layout, just ergonomically, it's just easy. If you've got everything in rows, then you know, you just know where to go for your EQ, where to go for your headphones. It just, you don't need to think basically. And if you've got lots going on, the less thinking you need to do, the better, and it just makes everything quicker and smoother.